Hello everybody, how are you? Good afternoon, I'm Fotini. I'm talking to you from Athens, Greece. I am a self-knowledge consultant. I'm an esoteric astrologer, writer, and I am an activator of higher consciousness as I'm carrying the energies of High Priestess. This video is, I believe, a needed one in my channel, at least. For those of you that maybe want to know more about me and want to follow the channel, and because when we are interacting with people, it's, according to me at least, it's very important to know a little bit about them and a little bit about what they are doing. And although I have done a separate video and an introduction of me in a post in my community board, I just wanted to say a very few words about me. I was a lawyer for 21 years and I stepped out of this career due to the economical crisis in Greece, but also the ethical crisis in Greece, having to do with certain structures that, due to my self-awareness and my self-knowledge, I didn't want to support anymore. I'm not going to get into details, but the thing is that when slowly, at that point, started to be aware of who I truly was and discerning what it means to be a personality or a human, where as a soul, spirit, you are carrying totally different energies, yet you are one and the same, you are in a body. I started to slowly use my intuition back then, first with reading charts. The first time that I read the chart, it was like I knew astrology, although I hadn't studied anything, and that happened almost back in 2007, I believe, almost 20 years, 19 to be accurate. And then in a very deep meditation, guided by my Reiki teacher back then, I was guided by my higher self back in the temples of Atlantis, where I saw myself learning about healing and astrology, and I understood that I was bringing this gift from past lives. Later, I could read the charts like opening a window to the psyche of each person that was coming to me, and so it was very easy, although I didn't have the so-called official, let's say, education about that. When I left my old profession and my old life, I had to bring forth, let's say, a title and name for me to be able to introduce myself to other people. I never used the word teacher for me, never. I never used the word coach. From point one, I said I am a self-knowledge consultant. I guide people and bring tools to people so that they can find themselves. Later on, of course, because as I was unfolding my new path, more and more gifts were unfolding for me. This is how it works. You don't have everything the day one. Life is an unfoldment of synchronicities and openings. So later, when I started to work with the Greek temples and the meditation, I received a message that I was an oracle in many Greek temples, and Delphi was one of them. It was funny because a client of mine in the United States once called me, "You are the oracle, I know you, I can see you in my dream." She didn't know anything about me. It was my third or fourth session with her. I worked with her for almost a year in the Way of the Rose, the program. She was one of the first that she subscribed to the program. And she said to me, "You are the oracle," but it was something that I had been introduced to as a title just 2 or 3 years before. And so what I want to say here is that it's very important to know what it is that you bring, a person brings to the table, because in that way, not only it is clear for everybody, but it is also clear for himself. It's an inner reflection and an inner honest connection with the true self. And so you are not pretending, I never did, that you are something else. And I was always very honest and with what I'm doing and from where all this is coming. Yes, I know that probably happens for some of you. You don't believe it at the beginning. My logical part of my brain, I came from a very logical, left-oriented profession, the law, and so all else was so up in the air and so out of the ordinary, or the so-called ordinary, that it took me a while to ground it and to be confident about it and to be okay with that. And the inner conflict, let's say, at the beginning at least, where logic and intuition are met. But it's also where the masculine and the feminine are connected. It's the same. And when the ascended masters and the ascended part of me start offering me the codes, and the first code is 244, that has to do with the inner rewiring of the feminine and the masculine, it was very obvious after that what role plays the masculine and what role plays the feminine. But many prefer to look at it as separation when it is happening within the one being, within me, within you. We are structured like that. We have a masculine aspect and a feminine aspect. And this is part of the evolution after the fall of Atlantis, when the part of consciousness, which was the masculine aspect, fall. And the feminine, the divine feminine, remained in the upper dimension as what we say intuition, the unseen, the hidden, however you want to call it. And whenever someone, whether in a male body or in a female body, was connected with that part was called crazy or unstable or woo-woo or whatever. But the point is that both are part of the soul. So, coming back to why I've chosen to call myself a self-knowledge consultant was because I was exactly that. I was just a consultant of how you can reach your own self-knowledge. That's why my gifts and what I'm bringing forth, esoteric astrology is one part, reading the chart from the perspective of the soul. The 7 rays is another part. The codes is another part of awakening and activating the consciousness within, the dormant part of the consciousness that lies within the human avatar. The activation that has to do with the etheric connection within the body, part of why I have ascended Gemini, which is the ruler of the etheric body. And after that, when all of that were united within me, I started doing my wisdom session and the holistic program, which is the Way of the Rose, and starting to work with people from point 1A to not B, but till the end, till Omega, working in all bodies, the spiritual body, the soul body, the personality, the body itself, which has to do with the nervous system, because I had gone through all the initiation and I could combine everything. And when I was ready, my higher self stepped in and guided me to start the channel and gave me the name Holistic Healing, having the all part of the title, because I had gained the wisdom of what I was talking. Also, healing has not, according to the first law of esoteric healing that was given through the angelic family of Raphael and Master Hilarion, is about self-knowledge. This is what healing is. Healing is not what the Western medicine is doing, because the Western medicine, which by the way we all need, is working with the physical body, but behind the disease, the dis-ease, so the disharmony, which is 4th ray by the way, lies a spiritual reason or a karmic reason. And so unless you go to the core issue, the disease is only silenced, not gone. Okay. So this is part of what this channel is about, and this is the time to bring forth all this knowledge, because the age of Aquarius, I'm an Aquarius, it's about occultism. It's not about mysticism. The old wisdom, the old angel wisdom was hidden in the mystery schools, in the old tradition, in witchcraft, in whatever. But Aquarius is about the Uranian education. It's about uniting heaven and earth, what it is above, spirit, with matter. And it has to do with the old Greek myth of Gaia and her husband Uranus. And it's their marriage brought the children to earth. And this is part of what now it's happening through Aquarius, because Aquarius is the only sign that has two main rulers, Saturn and Uranus. Because we went from the physical body ruled by Capricorn to Aquarius, which is uniting the higher knowledge, the multidimensionality with the physical body, with the Capricornian part. So we went from the 10th house to the 11th house, which is the two pillars. And so we use the practicality ruled by Saturn together with spirituality ruled by Uranus. And in that way, we are becoming the Christos human, not the Homo sapiens, not the human who is searching for knowledge, but we are becoming the human who knows and embodies love. That's the difference now. But in order to embody love, you have to bring into the vehicle, the structure, the physical body, the soul. The part of you that is love. This is what I'm doing in this channel, through my offerings, through my program, The Way of the Rose. And that's why I am very, very careful of how I use speech. The throat chakra. The throat chakra is the chakra of freedom. And it also connected behind the neck with the sacred chakra, which is the mouth of God, the medulla oblongata. And we have to be very accurate when we use words, because through our speech we create. And it's not about the word manifestation, it's about the word creation. And creation has to do with embodying, and embodiment, it's the prerequisite. It has to do with connection of human and divine in a flow state that is the third element, which is the Antakarana. It's the rainbow bridge coming from the heart, passing through the throat to the crown chakra. This is what the Ascended Master and the Angel Wisdom gave as a gift to humanity, but this gift has to be worked out through the human vehicle, the human aspect, the human who has to walk this bridge and connecting its part, so that, like connecting the dots, so that he feels and becomes whole again. And from that point, he can see and witness everything that is happening from the perspective of spirit, but also, and at the same time, from the perspective of human, and make a choice, a decision, let's say. which, by the way, is something that it's fast approaching, as I have said in previous video about the bifurcation of timelines. I hope that I gave you a lot to ponder, a lot to process, and share some things about me. I will do that also in another video. If you like it and if you enjoy this video, I would appreciate your contribution with like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very, very much, and have a great weekend. I will come again within the next 2 days with the new moon in Pisces. Thank you very much. Bye for now.